Alright, welcome everybody to day 3 of the Total Havoc Divisional Breakdown. Again, my name is Tim Smith here with Tim Finch. Today's group is the Soldiers of Hermes. So go ahead and break down your rankings from 1 to 4.
And at number 1 I got Razzie, at number 2 I got One Badass, at number 3 He Hate Mac, and at number 4 the presidential approval rating is pretty low, so I got the Prez.
This is the first time in this preview that we've actually haven't agreed on something. My breakdown is going to go He Hate Mac at number 1, Kid Razzie coming in at number 2, One Badass at number 3, and actually I guess we were the Prez as number 4. So go ahead and let me know what got brought to you.
What I like about Kid Razzie is they have Schwab and Fitzpatrick at quarterback. Last year they came in 10 and 15 ranked respectively. So I feel that they're pretty strong, or that Kid Razzie's pretty strong at quarterback here. I like the Peyton Hillis-Steven Jackson combination. The one thing I'm worried about is the longevity of the two running backs. Both tailed off last year. They're both proven to be injury prone in the past. I like Dallas Clark at tight end here. The bench is pretty full of stable players, and Razzie has shown in the past the ability to get better, throughout the season. At least picking up free agents. I don't know about trade-wise.
The reason why I don't have Razzie as my number 1 pick is main thing is that he's not as strong as running back as my number 1 pick. He Hate Mac. Peyton Hillis came out on the scene last year as a great running back, as a virtual unknown. I think because he's now known to the league, he's going to be game planned for, and as you can see in the second half of the season, his numbers suffered for that. So because of that, I think his productivity at the running back spot isn't going to be where he might expect it to be. He was our yellow jacket leader from last year, but just based off of what he has this year, I don't think he has the firepower to maintain that high scoring level throughout the entire season. On a side note, I do like the fact that Kid Razzie has a big mouth. He's vocal. He'll say a lot during the league when the camera's not rolling. You get him in front of the camera and he kind of shies away from the spotlight. But again, I think he'll have a solid impact on the league as a number 2 pick in this division. Yeah, I think he'll still make the playoffs. I just don't think he'll have the same type of productivity that he had last year. Who was your number 2 pick for the?
At number 2 I had One Badass.
Okay, go ahead and tell me about that.
I like what One Badass, they had the best keeper in the league this year, Mike Vick, at a bargain, basement price. He was able to pick up LaShawn McCoy, Kenny Britt. They're decent players. The bench is pretty weak, but the problem is you can't count the genius of the owner here.
Yeah.
This owner's proven time and time again, over the last 4 years of this league, that he has the ability and the acumen to pick up great free agents, to make moves when they see moves needing to be made.
Definitely.
And he's shown the ability so far to overcome the weakness of his draft.
Definitely. By
picking up some free agents. They're not the strongest free agents right now, but from a guy that's on the other side of the world, time zone difference, I got to give him credit.
Definitely. I have him at number 3, mostly because, as we say, his teams never looked that great on paper to start the season, but you can't knock the genius here. I don't expect him to stay in this number 3 spot, but for the sake of doing a preseason preview, I do feel like as of right now, he's the 3rd best team in this division. He does have Michael Vick as a cheap keeper who is going to produce for him. He has LaShawn McCoy also. I just don't feel like as of right now, he's one of the top tier player in this division. But you can't count him out because he's going to make the moves. He's going to make the trades, and he's going to be as top. He'll get wins and he'll get into the playoffs. So I definitely not knocking him there. I do feel like he's going to have to make some adjustments at the wide receiver spot. He doesn't have a really strong wide receiver core. But again, you can't knock him. He's going to make the moves necessary to get into the playoffs. Again, coming in at last place, the George Bush of the league. I mean, this guy, the Prez. Oh, my bad. I skipped over 3. Sorry, Prez. We'll get back to it in a second. Your number 3 pick for the league was?
Number 3, I had He Hate Mac.
Okay, He Hate Mac. I had him at ranked higher. Go ahead.
What I like about He Hate Mac is he stole Big Ben from Beaner, like the INS coming after Mexicans. It was pretty impressive, to be honest. I think it was one of the biggest steals of the trade season so far. He has 2 top 10 running backs in McFadden and Mendenhall, which I see, is pretty much integral to having a successful season. I like Mike Wallace at wide receiver. What I don't like is, that he kind of missed out on the draft.
Yeah.
Like showing up a couple minutes late kind of, ruined his entire team. But he has shown the ability to, recover from such a bad draft. And he shows the ability to make trades. And making trades in this league is pretty much integral to staying on top. At least being in competition for, playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. I actually have E8 Mac as my number 1 choice for this division. And the reason is because of his ability to make moves. He went from having 3 top 10 running backs to pushing those players out and bringing in players that are going to make his team better. I feel like adding Big Ben to his team gave him a stronger quarterback. Picking up Darren McFadden, even though it was a questionable trade by most people in the league, he definitely it was a piece of his puzzle. And so hopefully it'll work out for him and get him to where he wants to be. But he has a solid understanding of how to play the game, of how to pick up players, how to make trades. We'll see how he does in waiver wire coming up here shortly once the season kicks off. Players to watch out for, Rashard Mendenhall and Darren McFadden, going to be great point builders for him, which is my reasoning for having him at number 1. He has the ability to make moves, and that's what you don't see from a lot of players in this league. Finally, it's the moment we've been waiting for, the press. All right, here we are reporting live on location. Tim Smith, Tim Finch. We are here at Kennedy Manor for our special report on the President squad for this upcoming year. So Tim, take it away.
Well, I had to put Kennedy fourth. His team's not strong. They don't call it the White House just because it's white. His team is full of white dudes that can't play football. Hal Orton, is the starting quarterback. He's got who does he have at backup quarterback?
Backup quarterback is Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy.
Yeah, it is one shining light in Arian Foster. We all know how that went with the hamstring.
And we're pretty sure he drafted Arian Foster because of his name and not his skills. We just can't really trust Kennedy's football IQ this year. He does have one of the most transcendent names in all of fantasy football in our league. The Prez. No one really calls him Kennedy anymore, but that's about the only good thing about his team this year. There's no depth on his bench at all, and Kyle Orton being your best option at quarterback is probably not in a solid pick here.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I can say about his team is myself, I wanted Colt McCoy, and then Kennedy snaked me on him, just like he probably got votes in his last election. Pretty much has no shot. He sneaks into the playoffs maybe, but he usually gets ran over pretty easily. His playoff game is probably about as consistent as his basketball game. So Kennedy, I don't know what to say. Any wishes that you might want to make for Kennedy?
I do. You really have no shot at making the playoffs, so Kennedy, make a wish.